Hi, my name's Pete Rainford and you're watching DIY Brew It Yourself. Today I'm making a homemade rosé wine that looks and tastes expensive but costs next to nothing, mostly with supermarket ingredients. It will be smooth, crisp and beautiful. So I called into my local Asda on the way back from work yesterday and they had some Sable grapes reduced, so I need to get them used today because they're our day today. Some strawberries and some red grapes, seedless. So I've got 3 boxes of these, so that's 1200 grams, a box of the red grapes, a box of the strawberries. We don't need a full kilo of sugar, we're going to use 400 grams. I've got some Lalvin EC1118 yeast. You can use bread yeast or some other yeast, but for this, really, if you can get that, which you can online, you can get it off Amazon or off various brewing sites. I'm also going to be using some yeast nutrient and some tannin, some wine tannin. This should give us expensive tasting rosé with lovely fruity flavours. Sorry, I've also got 3 litres of apple juice here. Might not need all 3 litres, 2 to 2.5 litres might do, but we'll see anyway. Total cost about £10 for this, but we'll get a full demijohn, which is 6 bottles of wine, and this should be comparable to I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say a £10 bottle of wine. Wow. So you get £60 worth of wine. Just for this. This yeast, Lalvin EC1118, is a champagne yeast, so I know it will ferment crisp, clear and strong. Right, let's make some room. Okay, so we start off with a fully sanitized demijohn. Sanitize your gear. Enough said. Now, when it comes to the grapes, as I said, I've got 1200 grams of these Sable grapes. They are beautiful, by the way. I've also got 500 grams of red grapes and I've got strawberries. I'm going to blitz them because I just think it's easy rather than crushing away and But if you haven't got a blender, or if it's just easy for you to throw it in a big mold or a big bowl or a big pan and mash them with a masher or whatever a rolling pin or something, whatever you choose to use, go for it. I'm going to blitz them. Let's make some room. Okay, so we're going to start off with the Sable grapes. And I'll probably fast forward this bit because it's just going to take so long to de-stem these. I guarantee you though, as long as this takes, it will be worth it. If you like crisp, mildly sweet, summery rosé in the beginning of October, it could be a nice Halloween touch, a nice spooky rosé wine. Spooky. Anyway, de-stem your grapes. Whoops, did I drop one then? I did. That'll be a nice little one. Okay, from experience, it's going to be a little bit easier if I don't fill this to the top and probably add a little bit of apple juice just to make it a bit thinner so that it will pour through the funnel, because my funnel's quite narrow. There we go. We can get some more in actually. If you're using a big blender, you won't have that problem. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's get them all in. Okay, there's the first counter. use that as a bin. Idiot. You didn't see that. Okay. Where is it? There it is. Okay, noisy. Wow, it's going to look lovely when done. And I hope that's in the shot. I can't get behind there once I'm filming, so. One funnel. I certainly hope that's in the shot as well. Looks like a lovely Vimto colour. There we go. Look at that. Oh, there we go. We're plugged up. Okay, get the spoon. Sanitised. Leave that in there a sec. Excellent. So, let's do the red grapes. Next year, oh, I've dropped another one. Next year, I'll have some grapes in my back garden, ready to grow, ready to pick. I can't wait for that. I've got some Rondo, of which I have a video in my videos. Go and have a look. I've got 5 Rondo vines out there. I've got 6 Solaris vines and 1 Phoenix vine. They're all planted in the ground, and they've had their first year growth this year, of which I got 1 bunch of grapes, 1 bunch of red grapes, Rondo grapes. Not even enough to make a bottle, sadly. But anyway, there's a little video about that. I've then got 10 potted vines, which are a mixture of Bianca, Boston Glory, Dornfeld, I think Dornfeld, was it? I forget what else, but they're a mixture, and I don't know what they are until they actually grow some grapes. There are apps that help identify the plants once they, but they're far more accurate once they see some grapes, of which there are none. So, gotta wait till next year. Okay, I think that's full, Peter. Can we get that on? Yeah. Okay, a little bit more apple juice than that. So yes, next year I'll have some grapes to make wine from my own produce. I can't wait for that. More of a pinky colour, that one, but for rosé, gonna be perfect. Okay, here we go. Hope you can see this. Hope this is in shot. That's pouring a lot easier. And just a few more of those left. Okay, let's get some more Sable grapes in. And you might be thinking that I've not sanitized these or washed them or anything. Don't worry about it. If the supermarket chains haven't already done that, prior to these being packaged, then wine growers, I've said it again, wine growers. Winemakers don't wash grapes once they're picked from the vineyards. They just go straight into a destemmer as soon as possible while they're fresh, and they get destemmed and then they get crushed and they go into the wine. They don't get washed. They get washed with the rain, certainly in this country. That's why I chose Regent. I didn't choose Regent. That's why I chose Rondo, Phoenix and Solaris for my grapevines, because they're hardy in this climate, especially where I am in Cheshire, up in the north. Why did I say that? Here we go. There it goes. Let's get these strawberries in. I can't wait for this to be ready. Sadly, making wine is a job for the patient. And I don't mean you're ill. Shut up, Peter. Get out of your way. Just waffling. Most of this will come out in the edit anyway. Uh-oh, blockage. Okay, one more carton of Sable grapes, and that will conclude our fruit adding part of this video. I should probably try one of these grapes, shouldn't I? Oh wow, really good sugar content in there. It's going to make great wine. Okay, the brew can now take centre stage a bit more. Oh, I just put my sticky hands all over it. Never mind. Okay, let's have this in here. Look at that. That lovely colour. God. Okay, I'm going to get a bit more apple juice in there, just to get every last little drop of those grapes out. And strawberries, of course. And I've just got it all over my hands. I'm also adding, every time I shake stuff up and blend, I'm adding oxygen to the brew, which is good for the yeast. Okay, I'm going to add the sugar next. Now, spoiler alert, I microwaved about a litre of the apple juice we were using earlier, just to get it hot, so that when I pour 400 grams of sugar in, because that's what we're going to use in this brew to bring it up to 12-13% alcohol, sugar dissolves easier in warm water, as you know. I've got some ready warmed apple juice here, and I pre-weighed 400 grams of sugar, which I'm now going to add into here. not left a lot of room. I'm supposed to stir that up now. In behind you. Canasta. Okay, sterilised spoon. And let's just stir all that sugar up. You could brew this without this sugar, but I haven't run the numbers. I'm gonna hazard a guess you might get up to 9 or 10%. I want to get to the, you know, the industry standard, up towards 12, 13%. Okay, I'm just gonna add that, and then I'm gonna have to give this a shake up. You better shake up. Yeah, still a bit of undissolved sugar there, so get a bit more in there. There we go. Okay, just going to put that to one side. Sterilised rubber bung. In we go, and I'm just going to give this a little shake up. That lovely colour. Wow, it smells beautiful as well. Look at all that. Okay, let's top it up somewhat. I'm going to bring it up to the shoulder of the demijohn here. Okay, now at that point it's had 2 litres of apple juice. What do we say? 1200 grams of the Sable grapes, 500 grams of the red grapes, and 227 grams of the strawberries, I think. So 2 litres is, you're nearly there. You could do that with 2 litres if you don't want to buy a third carton, but these are cheap anyway, only like 95 pence. If you don't want to buy a third carton, you could top that up with water now if you wanted, or just leave it where it is. I'm gonna, because I make so much of these brews, I'll get through this, or someone in the house will drink it. But I'm going to top it up just to about the shoulder here, leave us a bit of room for fermentation. And because this is going to be such a nice wine, I want to get as much as possible. There we go. I didn't go any more than that. Okay, so we're going to add a couple more things, but that's all the juice and fruit at least. Okay, so we are going to add, you don't have to add these, you have to add the yeast obviously. You don't have to add the other things I'm going to add now, but if you have access to them, if you can get them, please do, because it will improve the brew. Okay, so we need 1 level teaspoon of yeast nutrient, which I'm going to add first. That's a 1/3 teaspoon. Whoops. So about 3 of those. 1, 2, 3, and that's Young's yeast nutrient. There are others out there. This is just what I have at the moment. And then I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of wine tannin. That's a 1/4 teaspoon. So there's 1. 2. Now what that basically does is give, because we're not using wine grapes, it gives that lovely mouth feel that a proper wine grape would give you, not a supermarket grape. If you don't have this, can't buy it, don't have access to it, you can just brew a cup of tea. just a plain cup of tea. Let it steep for a good, 5-10 minutes. I get a bit greedy when I do that, and I add 2 tea bags. You don't have to, just 1 tea bag in you could brew it in the apple juice if you wanted to, but just brew it in a bit of water and just pour it in. It will help to give that lovely body, that lovely mouthfeel when you drink a good wine. Okay, now last and not least, of course, is, if you can see that, there we go, Lalvin EC1118. It's a champagne yeast. It's basically going to make sure this ferments lovely and crisp, clear, and strong. One thing I'm going to add before I add that, and I didn't put it in the ingredients at the start, is some Pectolase. Pectolase, in this lovely small tub that I have here. Pectolase breaks down the fruit pectins and helps the wine to clear and improves colour extraction, so we'll get a lot of that lovely colour from these grapes. I've blended them anyway. If they were crushed, or in a true winemaking way, this would help a lot. Sorry, not the yeast. I'm going to add some, purely for its clearing powers, but it will also help get some of that lovely colour of the fruit into the brew, which we should get anyway because we blended it. 1, 2, 3. So not essential, but if you have it, use it. If you have these things, they're at your disposal. They're in your arsenal. Use them. Okay, last but not least, let's pitch some yeast. Yes, Peter. Half a teaspoon of Lalvin EC1118 yeast, champagne yeast. 1. And 2. I'm just going to let that rehydrate. I'll give it a little swirl, and then I'm going to take a reading with a hydrometer because I want to know exactly how strong this goes. I'm saying between 12 and 13%. I'm hoping 12-13%. If my maths are correct, with the sugars in the grapes, the strawberries, and the sugar that we've added. If all goes to plan, just put the bung back on and swirl that yeast in. There it goes. You look at those lovely colours in there. Okay, pre-sanitised. You have been warned. Very fruity, so I'm not getting a lot up with the base there. We'll get enough. One more. Maybe another bit. Okay, that should do. Okay, no close-ups of this today because I don't have my GoPro. Okay. See, the fruit is giving a slightly false reading because it's making it too buoyant. But I've mixed it up as best as I can. Difficult to get a reading. Okay, I don't fully trust this reading, but I'm getting 1.070. In fact, it might be closer to 1.072, which, if that ferments to dry, and basically what I mean by that is if it ferments all the sugars that are in there, which it will, because I know that yeast will ferment all those sugars. If that ferments to dry, we should get a 12% wine, but because this is such a gloopy, thick, fruity mix, I don't think we're getting a true reading here. Yeah, it could be closer to 1.076 or even 8. So I'm going to write that down, 1.076, which should give it between a 12% and a 13% wine. Right, now because I've sanitized that, I can pour it back, because I don't want to waste that. Look. No way. Whoops. One low level airlock with some sanitizing fluid into the bung and into the brew. And there we have it. So this will take off within a day or two, and then we're going to have to leave it at least a week to 10 days before we can do anything to this, i.e. rack it off the lees, bottle it, taste it, anything like that. It's going to need at least a week anyway. So that's your primary fermentation set. I'm going to place it on a heating mat that I've got, which keeps my brews between 18 degrees and 22 degrees, although it has started to get a bit cooler and it's struggling to maintain that, so it may well be around 16 to 18 degrees. If you can keep it between 18 and 22, do. If you keep it in your house, if your heating's on this time of year, 18 to 22 degrees, perfect. I'm going to leave this for 5 to 7 days and I'm going to have a look at it, and I might siphon this into a clean demijohn, just so that it clears a little lighter than what it appears like it's going to at the moment. It appears quite dark, whereas I want this to be a rosé, so I want it a nice light, lush colour, you know. And that's how you make an expensive looking and tasting rosé from supermarket bought grapes. You don't have to go to Asda, you can go to whatever supermarket you like, and they don't have to be those specific grapes, and you don't have to add strawberries. You could add something else, or nothing at all, just the grapes and the apple juice. The more variety of fruits you add, the more fruity tones your wine should retain. So it's up to you. That's how I do it, or that's how I've done it on this occasion, and I'm looking forward to tasting this with my wife over a lovely meal. Not all of it, obviously, over a bottle over a meal, obviously, maybe a little less. So if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see me rack this off into bottles once it's been cleared, get a reading, show you how strong it turned out, have a taste of it, see my reaction to how good it is or how bad it is, it will be good. Please like and subscribe, and join me for part 2, which will be in a few weeks' time, when it's completely cleared and when it's had a little bit of aging, because obviously this will improve with time once it's off the lees into a fresh fermentation vessel or bottled. I'm looking forward to tasting it. Tune in for that. See you for part 2.